Hi, Nick Osborne with the next micro lesson, and this micro lesson is going to just upset the trainers because it's a dose of reality. This micro lesson is caused because this has happened to me now at least 4 gyms in the last 2 years. Trainers thinking they're more important than they are. Now, I'm not saying that trainers aren't important at all, because I am a trainer. I work with trainers every day. My staff is full of trainers, and they are the key to my business's success. But sometimes you let what you think is the most important thing, which is you, get in the way of actually servicing the client and realizing who has the authority and kind of reality in general. We've worked with clubs that have either integrated the integrated functional coaching system into their club, they're contemplating it, or they just need consultations. A few of the clubs will have the trainers get together and basically go into some sort of union mode and decide they're not going to do the work the way that the owner wants them to do it. And if they don't, they'll just quit. Now, the last 3 clubs, the owners have just said, fine, that's great, goodbye. The trainers are all in shock because they thought that they were the most important thing in the relationship. And within 2 months, the club is actually making more money than they were with those trainers, because at those trainers, at all clubs that we're talking about here, have a 3% penetration or less. That means, because none of these clubs were larger than 1,500 members, the most amount of people that were training was 35 in one club, and it went down from there. So the owner could get rid of the trainers. I could understand if the training department had a penetration of 30% or higher, feeling like they had a better or more control over what was being said, what was being delivered, the exercise program, all of that. But when you're talking between 2 and 3% penetration, what you're doing isn't working. That's the reason why owners now are either getting rid of personal training in their club, or they're looking to make changes because it helps everybody in the club. I even worked with one club that the owner was supplementing the club with $10,000 every month of his or her own money. And the trainers were arrogant enough to say, the way that we're doing it is the way that it should be, and if you don't like it, we're all quitting. They had a 2.5% penetration when it comes to personal training, and at the IFCS, we're looking at trying to get clubs between 20 and 30%. Imagine the financial burden on the owner and how much that would be lifted. That $10,000 a month be lifted if the personal training department was actually generating $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 additional in revenue. But the trainers thought that they were the most important thing in the equation. They had the right to determine what went on in the club, even though their names weren't on the mortgages, their names weren't on the equipment leases. They could come and go as they pleased. They didn't have owe anything to the club. So the owner finally got fed up and said, that's fine, leave. They replaced them, and within 60 days, they were making 50% more money. And within 6 months, they already made up all the money that they had lost by firing the trainers and not having personal training in the club for 45 days. Now, I know the trainers sometimes hate this message, and I understand that, because you're looking at it like I'm slamming on all trainers. I'm not. I'm just telling you, think of yourself as an important portion of the club, but you're not the most important portion in the club. If you do that, you'll look at your job a little bit different, and the owners will actually love to have trainers on staff that are working on purpose, supporting the club, not thinking that the club is there to support them. So the most negative micro lesson I've done yet, hopefully I don't have too many more, but it is a dose of reality, and for owners it should be a big dose of reality that you're not slaves to your trainers. And trainers, you're not slaves to the company. This needs to be a balanced relationship where everybody is working on purpose, everybody has goals, standards, and everybody understands what their role is and how to get ahead. So hopefully this is something that wakes everybody up. If you want more information on how the IFCS can help you get a more balanced relationship between the trainer or coach, the owner or manager, and the client, get all three entities working together, then shoot us an email, post on this blog post, and we'll be happy to get a hold of you and help you out. Until our next micro lesson, Nick Osborne with the Integrated Functional Coaching Systems, hoping you go create a great team of fitness professionals working on purpose and having fun every day.